Welcome back, football fans. Argentina just dismantled their Copa America qualifier. Rivals 4-0, and they look more dominant than ever. This is more than a World Cup hangover. It's the rebirth of a dynasty, and every top team in the world should be nervous. A squad built on youth, grit, and Messi's final encore? Yeah, it's terrifying. Stay with us as we dive into why Argentina's new national team might be the most dangerous force in world football right now. For a long time, Argentina was football's biggest heartbreak story. A nation overflowing with talent. Messi, Tevez, Higuain, Aguero, but no titles, no payoff. Just near misses and painful collapses. 2014 World Cup final, extra time heartbreak. Copa America 2015, lost on penalties. Copa America 2016, same script, different day. And Messi? He almost walked away from the national team entirely. Fans were tired, the players were broken, and the world, frankly, stopped fearing Argentina. But then something changed. Not just a few players, not just tactics. The entire mindset shifted. And now, Argentina isn't just a talented team. They're united, they're hungry, they're ruthless. They've got youth coming through, experience holding it down, and a manager who rebuilt the culture from the ground up. This isn't the Argentina of the past. It's something way scarier. Let's be honest, most teams peak, then fade. Win a big trophy, enjoy the parade, drop off in the next cycle. That's football history. Argentina, they've done the unthinkable, won it all, and somehow gotten stronger. In the next few minutes, we're breaking down how the World Cup in Qatar wasn't the end, but the launch pad. How Lionel Scaloni rebuilt the squad from the inside out. Why the new generation of players, Garnacho, Enzo, McAllister, Julián, Álvarez, are already elite, and how Argentina now plays with a structure and confidence that makes them nearly impossible to break. We're not talking about a golden generation, we're talking about a footballing ecosystem built to last, built to win, and built to dominate the next 5 to 10 years. This is the Argentina you should be afraid of. Let's get into the story. December 18, 2022, Lusail Stadium, one of the greatest World Cup finals ever played. Argentina versus France, a Messi masterclass, an Mbappe hat-trick, 120 minutes of drama, and the most intense penalty shootout the world's seen in years. But it wasn't just a victory, it was a rebirth. Argentina didn't just win the World Cup. They did it with a team that looked nothing like the ones before it. Young players stepping up under pressure, a tactical identity that flexed and evolved mid-tournament. And most importantly, belief. This wasn't the Messi-dependent Argentina of the past. Yes, he was their leader. He is the heartbeat of the team, but around him, a squad that could fight, adapt, and win without needing him to carry them for 90 minutes. Qatar was proof of concept that a new Argentina had arrived, one built on collective power instead of individual brilliance. And now, with that trophy on the shelf, they're playing with house money and a lot less pressure, which makes them even more dangerous. When Lionel Scaloni was appointed head coach in 2018, the reaction was lukewarm at best. No major managerial experience, no flashy resume, just a former defender stepping into a broken locker room and the country desperate for answers. At the time, it felt like a placeholder move. Today, it looks like one of the best decisions Argentina has ever made. Scaloni didn't come in with ego, he came in with clarity. He scrapped the idea that Argentina needed to build around a handful of superstars. Instead, he built a team. One that defends together, fights together, and most importantly, wins together. He brought in young blood when it wasn't popular. He dropped big names when it was necessary. He created an environment where players fight for the shirt, not just the spotlight. Under Scaloni, Argentina developed something they hadn't had in years: balance, aggression and composure, experience and youth, defensive grit and attacking flair. He turned a fractured squad into a family, and now the results speak louder than any critic ever did. Scaloni's not just a coach. He's the architect of a national identity that's here to stay. If you thought Argentina's World Cup win was all about Messi's last dance, think again, because the names that really stood out in Qatar are just getting started. This new generation, they don't just fill gaps, they raise the ceiling. Let's break it down. Enzo Fernández. Barely 21 when he bossed the midfield in Qatar, he won the Young Player of the Tournament and earned a mega move to Chelsea. But titles don't define him. His composure, press resistance, and ball distribution do. He doesn't play like a prospect. He plays like he's been controlling midfields for a decade. Julián Álvarez. Overshadowed by Haaland at Man City? Maybe. But for Argentina, he's the perfect no-9. Relentless pressing, clinical finishing, and the kind of work ethic that makes him indispensable. Scored 4 goals in a World Cup, and he's only just begun. Alexis Mac Allister, a silent killer. Elegant on the ball, but gritty when needed. He doesn't just keep the midfield ticking, he makes it harder to break. Now at Liverpool, and looking every bit like a long-term fixture in elite level football. Alejandro Garnacho, still raw, still learning, but give him space, he'll skin you alive. This kid's got the arrogance of a street footballer and the pace to back it up. He's not next, he's now, and he's fearless. This isn't a youth movement. This is a second wave of destruction. Under 25 and already world class. Argentina didn't win the World Cup and fade. They reloaded. And the scariest part, they're only going to get better. One of the biggest myths in football, that Argentina only works because of Messi. Here's the truth, this team doesn't rely on Messi, it amplifies him. Because under Scaloni, Argentina has built something rare in international football, a tactical identity that functions no matter who's on the pitch. Let's break it down. Defensively, solid. Argentina no longer leaks goals in big games. They press as a unit, drop compact when needed, and reset shape instantly. It's not flashy, but it wins tournaments. Midfield fluidity. The midfield trio, Mac Allister, Enzo, De Paul, doesn't just control the game, it adapts mid-match. They can go high tempo, slow it down, absorb pressure, or suffocate you in possession. It's chess, not checkers. Attacking variation. They don't rely on one pattern. Messi can drop deep, Álvarez can run the channels, Di Maria, even at his age, still shows up in finals. Garnacho brings chaos, Lautaro brings physicality. It's an attack you can't prep for with a single plan. And most importantly, they don't panic. If you score on them, they don't spiral. If they miss chances, they stay calm. That kind of emotional maturity, it's what separates good sides from dynasties. Argentina used to rely on talent to bail them out. Now, they've got a system that carries the load and lets the talent shine naturally. Let's clear something up. Messi may be nearing the end of his career, but his impact on this team isn't fading, it's evolving. He's not the guy sprinting 90 minutes. He's not pressing like a madman or tracking back to win the ball. He doesn't have to, because what Messi brings now, clarity, timing, magic when it matters. In the World Cup, he scored 7, assisted 3, created chaos every time he touched the ball. But here's what made it terrifying. He finally had a team around him that let him breathe. No longer dragging the team on his back, now he's the tip of the spear, not the whole blade. And let's talk leadership. Messi isn't the quiet kid from 2006 anymore. He's vocal, animated, present. You can see it on the pitch. Players look to him for belief, not instruction. And even as the younger generation rises, they don't view him as a crutch. They see him as the blueprint. What Messi's given this team isn't just goals, he's given them a standard. One that lives on, even after he walks away. Argentina used to be Messi's burden. Now, he's their bonus. You want to know what really wins tournaments? Not the flashy goals, not the viral moments, it's the midfield. And Argentina's midfield right now, it's an absolute weapon. Forget just good in possession. This trio is built for control, chaos, and grit, all at once. Rodrigo de Paul, the bodyguard. He's not just Messi's enforcer, he's the glue guy. De Paul presses like a lunatic, tracks back, muscles attackers off the ball, and still has the vision to spark a counter. He doesn't care about headlines, he just wins duels. Enzo Fernández. The metronome, need to escape a press? Give it to Enzo. Need a switch pass, line breaker, or tempo reset? Enzo. He sees the field like a veteran, moves like a winger, and thinks 2 passes ahead. He's not flashy, he's efficient, and terrifyingly mature. Alexis McAllister, the silent controller, he's the guy that disappears from highlight reels until you realize the entire midfield ran through him. His positioning, balance, and calm make him a natural stabilizer. He lets the chaos happen around him and never loses his head. Together they cover every base. They don't just dominate, they suffocate teams. Physically, mentally, tactically. Midfields win tournaments. Argentina's midfield wins eras. Here's the part that should make every football nation pause. This Argentina team, they're not even at their final form. Yes, they're reigning world champions. Yes, they've won Copa America. Yes, they just steamrolled another qualification run. But look at the squad and you realize most of them haven't even hit their prime. Enzo, 23. Alistair, 25. Julián Álvarez, 24. Garnacho, 19. Guardiola's not Argentine, but you get the idea. Argentina's young core is stacked. And there's more coming. Players like Thiago Almada, Facundo Buonanotte, and Valentin Barco are on the rise. Names you'll know very soon. This isn't a golden generation, this is a pipeline. Built through youth development, smart scouting, and a system that doesn't chew talent up, it refines it. Other countries have stars. Argentina has a structure that keeps generating stars year after year. And now that the pressure's off, now that the team has tasted glory, they're not chasing validation, they're chasing legacy. Which is why Argentina might not just win again, they might dominate the next decade. Let's be real, most national teams are still stuck in old habits. Call up the same aging stars, build the squad around 1 or 2 names, ignore form, ignore chemistry, hope for the best when the tournament starts. Argentina did that for years and it cost them, but now they've built a new blueprint and every serious football nation should be paying attention. Here's what they did differently. 1. Youth isn't a gamble, it's a necessity. Scaloni trusted the kids early, even when it meant benching big names. That faith created monsters. Hungry, fearless, and battle-tested. 2. Cohesion greater than star power. This isn't about collecting big names, it's about building a system where the parts make the whole stronger. Argentina's midfield has no Ballon d'Or winners, but they outplay everyone. 3. Legacy isn't a burden, it's fuel. Instead of letting Messi's presence paralyze the team, they used it as inspiration. A torch passed, not clung to. 4. Tactics win tournaments. Identity wins eras. Other teams still shift styles every cycle. Argentina, same grit, same spine, plug and play, evolve without losing identity. Any federation watching this should be asking, are we planning for the next match or are we building for the next 5 years? Argentina isn't just back, they're ahead. If you're still thinking of Argentina as Messi's team, you're already behind, because what you're seeing now is a football machine built for the long game. They've got the talent, they've got the mentality, they've got the structure, and most importantly, they've figured out how to win without falling apart after winning. That's rare in international football. So whether you're a fan of Brazil, France, England, Germany, doesn't matter. If your team isn't adapting like Argentina, you're chasing shadows. This isn't hype, this is a warning. Because the World Cup win, that was just the beginning. What's coming next could reshape international football for a decade. So here's what you do. Rewatch their games, not just the highlights. Study how they move off the ball, how they press, how they adjust. Subscribe to Stay Locked In. We've got breakdowns coming on Garnacho, Enzo and Scaloni's full system. Argentina isn't waiting for the world to catch up. They're already gone.